This is how you get your diamond flask in excruciating detail. First of all, you gotta get to the warrior trainer. The diamond flask is a warrior trinket, obviously, and you get the quest in there. Your trainer is gonna tell you to go to the blasted lands and talk to the fallen hero of the horde. Yes, that also applies to the Alliance, do not ask me why, but yes. You're gonna talk to this ghost guy and he's gonna tell you to kill 7 boars. Now, at launch this quest was impossible to do because the entire map was full of people, but you can do it now pretty easily. It's 7 boars, there is plenty of people helping you. You might have to layer into a layer that's dominated by your faction, that's the best way to do it. And you kill these 7 hell boars in the south of Blasted Lands, then you go back to the ghost guy and he's gonna tell you to kill a bunch of Shadow Sworn enemies. Okay, those are the guys in this little area of the map right here. You gotta kill like 40 in total of them. And now one thing you gotta remember is that you gotta kill adepts. Those are the bottleneck. Usually the other ones are pretty easy to find, but most of the adept mobs are in the cave. The cave is heavily contested. You're gonna see a lot of PvP going down in that cave. You absolutely should get into a group with other warriors to fight over it. But the good thing about the cave is that if you get together with a group of 5 people, you can scatter across the entire cave, each one in each side, and somebody can tag one of the monsters from one of the corners of the cave, and everybody is gonna get credit because you're just close enough. And you absolutely should, because it is very hard to get tags as a warrior, and this will be a big part of your time. This part of the quest took me about 40 minutes total, and that was with 4 people helping me. One thing you gotta learn, guys, is that you might think, okay, warriors suck at mob tagging, they do not have as instant no travel attack. They do. Believe it or not, intercept will do instant damage, just like a moonfire or a earth shock or something like that. You need rage for it, but if you have rage and you intercept a mob, you're gonna immediately tag it on the very second you do it. It doesn't take all the traveling time, like you're gonna do the damage, it does like a tiny bit of damage instantly as soon as you do it. And that's how you fight over tags as a warrior. But once you kill 20 adepts, 10 cultists, and 20 thugs, you are gonna finally be able to go to the next part of the quest. And that's gonna be the part that takes you the most time, but it is by far the least annoying, so you got that going on for you. And that's gonna be Sunken Temple. You just gotta kill every boss at the top of Sunken Temple at every balcony. Now, you do not have to kill all the other bosses down there, which are Jamalan and Eranicus, because there is a lot of trash you gotta clear down there. Now, the thing is that if you're gonna do this quest, you are likely not gonna have like 4 level 60 warriors that just want those bosses. You are probably gonna have to do it with levelers that are actually clearing the entire dungeon, because that's what they are there for. So you are probably gonna be forced to do that. There is not a good way around that. But once you clear every single boss in the balcony, you get all the 6 feathers that you need. 2 green, 2 blue, and 2 amber feathers. 6 bosses total, remember that. And you can go all the way right back up to the fallen hero of the horde. Very careful now. Do not turn it in immediately. You're gonna be very tempted if you got add-ons to pick up the wrong one. If you pick the wrong item, you break your character. There is no way to pick up this item ever again. So very slowly, paying a lot of attention, you turn in the quest very slowly, and you make sure you click on the diamond flask. Got it? Got it. And there you got it, the diamond flask. Now some information about the diamond flask. 75 strength, 1 minute, 6 minute cooldown. Now, if you look at it, that looks kinda terrible, 6 minute cooldown, and it is terrible, but 1 minute of uptime in vanilla is huge, because there is very few boss fights. There are some, there is at least one every raid, but most boss fights do not last over a minute in a decent guild. So that means you get 75 strength the entire fight. 75 strength is a free chest piece worth of stats. Now, we know why they made this mistake at Blizzard, because the way they calculate the stats of a trinket is they take the uptime, the 60 seconds, and they divide it by the cooldown, which is 6 minutes. So the value of the trinket is calculated based on the 15% uptime. Now here's the thing, right? There is nothing stopping you from changing that trinket after you're done with the cooldown. And you got a full perfect uptime in a fight. So if you carry around 2 trinkets, all you have to do is one fight you pop the diamond flask, the next fight you just put on a different trinket, and then you put back the diamond flask on the second fight. You basically do in between every other fight, you use the diamond flask every time, and you get all the benefit and none of the downside. So yes, play around whatever fight you wanna person, you make sure you got the diamond flask up for that fight, and you are gonna be pretty much pumping the entire time. This thing is absolutely insane. Now about the healing, it is a tiny number of healing per 5 seconds, 9 heal per 5 seconds, but actually this scales with healing power at 100% rate. You get 100 healing power, that is 100 heal every 5 seconds. If you're a DPS warrior, it is not a big deal, but if you're a tank, this is actually one of the best trinkets in the game for threat. Why threat? It is a healing item. Well, healing is global AoE threat. At a rate of 1, every point of healing that you do on yourself will count as 1 threat. But what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna be on cloth gear the entire fight just like a healer? No. You can put on a bunch of healing gear, pop the trinket, put on your normal armor, and tank the boss, and you're gonna get the entire full heal, calculated as if you still had the healing gear, but with your normal armor. Tanks usually do this trick to generate a lot of free threat. Say for example you got a set of 200 healing power, nothing too crazy. That's just a couple of greens, right? Well, we can do the math. That's 200 healing power, which scales at 100%, so you get all those 200 every tick, and there is 5 seconds per tick. So in a minute we got 60 seconds, and we divide it by 5, because it's a tick every 5 seconds. 2400 healing on you for free. That's with a crappy green set. Imagine if you are actually taking off all the wasted healing gear. You know how in raids or dungeons there is always some healing gear that nobody wants? That's 2400 HP on you for free, which if you're a tank you are gonna really appreciate it, and it is 2400 free threat. And thus, the Diamond Flask set is born. Yes, that's why warriors have this little joke, this little stereotype that they wanna steal all your healing gear to do this thing. Is the Diamond Flask set, bro. Yeah, it is pretty stupid, but you know, like, please do not steal gear from healers to do this, but if you can get healing gear, you know, whatever blues, whatever thing, and you use item rack, that's the add-on I recommend, item rack. I'm gonna put it on the Discord, on the add-on list. You can swap from one set of gear to another set of gear with a single button. You are absolutely broken, and we are not even talking about the consumables and the spell power things you can get. That's like uber tryhard, that's like speedrunning tryhard, but yeah, this thing is pretty broken, so you should absolutely get it. No matter what type of warrior you are, you absolutely should get the Diamond Flask. You can show up to Nax Ramas with a Diamond Flask on you, and nobody will complain. Nobody will argue with you. That's how broken this trinket is. Subscribe, join the Discord, and thank you for watching.